on this discussion topic of technology and adoption of technology in automated environments, so we see all the upside, the goodness and, the potential, but what about risks? What are the risks that companies are facing? There's got to be, with new technology and new advancement, there's always, risk associated with that. So what do you guys see as risk, and what do you do to reduce those risks?
Well, I don't know if we've got all the solutions, but I can certainly, there are risks from adoption of new technology. I mean, people's is the number 1, 2, and 3 points. So like, are we capable of, if we get a new robot, can we maintain the robot? If we have a cyber issue, can we tackle the cyber issue? If we have an issue, do we want to do it on, ourselves, or do we want to outsource? And if we outsource, I mean, this manufacturing plant could have been operating for 60, 70 years, gone through multiple iterations of upgrading, changing that to a position where the steps are clear and they're in line across multiple parts of the organization. It's like, have you got your change management strategy in place? And that all starts with the people. I mean, like, if you're going to outsource your IT, how does that IT outsourcing impact the new network that's needed on the OT environment? There's enough challenges between the OT side of the world and the IT side of the world in most manufacturing environments. And then if part of that's outsourced on either side of the fence, there's a huge opportunity to do really well or not do really well. I mean, if you take things like, from a technology perspective, you've got downstream or second domino effects on safety. Like, if you're going to palletize or you're going to have robots running around the factory, that robot wasn't running down that particular aisle 2 years ago. So do you need new sensors to figure out where that is? How do you get the data of where that robot's operating? How are we going to make sure people are out of harm's way from that new operation? It's not just the robot that's a piece. It's the components that go with it, which involve keeping people safe on plant floors. There's a lot of second or third dominoes that get knocked over after you adopt one piece of technology in a plant.
Yeah, I heard you mention several things there that I've heard just in this arena the last 5, 6 years. And I think the growth of cybersecurity and manufacturing, you didn't even talk about this stuff 5 years ago. At least I didn't hear much about it. And now if you go to a big, like the Rockwell Automation Fair, the biggest draw are, these simulations, and companies are talking about how to protect your data. Cybersecurity, it looked like, I'm an ex-military guy, it looked like an operations center from a military, operation. It's incredible that the advent of technology is exposing new risk. And you mentioned something is, common sense wise, is safety. We see some of these robots running around in plants. Safety guys that have been there for 30, 40 years probably have no idea how to mitigate those kind of risks. So it's exposing new things.
Yeah, and on the cybersecurity side of things, it's kind of, hey, we're all worried about a credit card and our social security number getting taken away. But, on cyber, this is switching things on and switching things off. There could be pumps involved. There could be machines involved. There's production. And production, on an hourly basis is like a pretty expensive thing for most of our good customers. Is where they want to focus. So, those are all new. And the more devices you have, the more sensors you have, the more risk you have. And managing that in the same environment is a challenge that most of our customers have. When I say in the same environment, like the people with the sensors, are they the same people that are managing the risk to the sensors, or are they different groups? What's the coordination between those groups? How do they manage that on an ongoing basis? Doing a snapshot can be kind of easy. We manage it this way. Having a movie or an ongoing a roll of film, I guess I'm dating myself there, is a different play.